Hey y'all, welcome to Wellness Wednesdays. I am so excited that you're here. As a reminder, I do this at 3 p.m. Pacific time every Wednesday, and I am super excited today. We have a special guest, Leonie Percy. Hey Leonie, how you doing today?
Hello, I'm so well. I'm so well. How are
I'm
you?
I'm fantastic, and I'm so glad that you are able to join us. I'm like tripping over my words for some reason. I don't know why. Um, what I'd love to start with is sharing a little bit about the work that you do in this world with our audience.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, right now I am a mama. So that's my big job right now. And it is the biggest job in the world and, the most challenging and the most rewarding. So I have three babes and my youngest is literally 3 months old, super cute. Baby Phoenix, having a little sleep right now. So just keep sleeping a bit longer. So I'm in a space where I predominantly work with mums and I really help mums find their light and their truth, because my experience of motherhood is that it has this beautiful way of cracking you open and really it's very overwhelming and frustrating at times. And we kind of yo-yo between this dance that we do between our head and our heart. So 1 minute, we're in like intense gratitude and in love with our life. And the next minute we're just like, like feeling quite resentful and frustrated. And it's like this crazy dance that we do from between love and fear. So I really help mamas manage motherhood, and I teach stress management, time management, but I'm a really big fan of mindfulness and really just about being so present in the moment. And really that to me is where joy and love and compassion and all these beautiful high vibing emotions live. So when we're very much stuck in the past and we're worrying about why that happened and we're in that victim mindset, like we can't find joy there. And when we keep projecting to the future, like what's going to happen in this situation, we're never again being present. So we're very anxious.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah. So I'm all about helping mamas manage mamahood and also helping them find real joy. And that may be helping them start a business, helping them rekindle a passion, a hobby, whatever it is that allows them to reconnect back to who they really are, which is this beautiful, soulful goddess.
Yeah. So I'll be 100% transparent. I do not have children. However, well, just in case people are like, she doesn't know. You're right. I don't. What I do know, though, is having witnessed many of my friends have children and be in the process of raising their kids, is for a lot of women, I imagine it's really easy to begin to lose yourself. And so I love the work that you're doing. And I love that you're really talking about mindfulness and like getting present, because it is so true. Anytime we're like flashing forward or going into the past, we are not grounded and we are not here. And you could be sitting on the couch next to someone telling yourself some bullshit story from God knows when and not experiencing that moment. Or like if you're in your head and you're thinking about 500 things with your kids and how you've got to take them from place to place, you're forgetting that children are like these pure beacons of like light and love, and that they're so good at teaching us how to be in the present moment.
Yeah. Yeah. And it totally, of course, applies to entrepreneurs as well.
Yeah.
So, whether you're a mother or a sister or a partner or a daughter or a friend, we wear so many hats. I think we're all mothering regardless of whether we're biological mothers or not. So we're kind of holding space for all these people in our lives. And what happens most of the time I see with women, because it's kind of, from our lineage, to be of service and to be this like compassionate light. And I'm all about that. But we end up just giving all our energy away. We end up being quite depleted. And I'm all about goddess time, self-care. How can you raise yourself up so you can actually be, people talk about love cups and, like you want so much in your cup that it's like overflowing, and then everyone else can come drink from that cup, but you still have enough for you.
Yes.
That's so important. And I share very vulnerably online. I shared my most engaged post in the last few months has me been literally in tears when I went to see a child health nurse and scored quite highly on the postnatal depression. She caught me in like a really bad day. My husband had been traveling to work. I was really broken. And I was like, this is so real. Like we need to talk about this. Like mothers struggle with this lack of support. And I honestly had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and it reached thousands of people because I was being really true. I was being like, in this moment right now, I feel really broken. And this is how mums feel sometimes. And then, of course, it's this process of, well, how can I reconnect back to me? How can I get the help and support that I need? Yeah. And the outflow of love online and in my community was amazing. I've had people bring me lunch and dinner, and my husband organized all our friends to come over and cook for us. And we had like meals for a week, like just beautiful.
Yeah, that reminds me of like the power of vulnerability by choosing to open up and talk about something, because like so often we think like we've got to be superwoman, we have to be perfect, we have to have it all together. Like everybody has broken moments. Yes. I can't tell you how many times I've cried on the floor, and yes, I willingly choose the floor. I find it grounding. So, but it's like, of course, like we have moments where we lose our shit, and it's okay. That's human. That's real. Yeah. And I love the support that you got as a result of like choosing to open up, because it is not easy in those moments to feel like, I feel like something's wrong with me.
Yeah. And it's amazing that, you know, we connect through suffering. So when you see a vulnerable post on social media, you know, you want to reach out. Like we, you know, we want to help. We want to be, you know, part of this healing of the planet. And I love that. And I love Brené Brown, and she talks very much about vulnerability being the birthplace of something beautiful. And it really is. Yeah. So when we mentor women, I'm like, be vulnerable, you know, share your story. I really teach them how to have an authentic voice, because that's how they grow their tribe, and that's how they attract clients. You know, people buy you, right? You know, and they're not buying what you're doing, they're buying why you're doing it. Yeah. So if you've got this kind of beautiful story, which is true, of course, behind why you're choosing to have a business and help people be free from, you know, this kind of negative mindset that we can kind of really easily get ourselves into, because life definitely throws curveballs. Like,
yeah, no, all the time. You're like walking along and you just got like hit in the head with a ball. Yeah, no, it's like totally freaking true. When you were, I lost my train of authentic. Okay, found my train of thought. When you were talking about like living, like finding your authentic voice, like I think that's something that kind of confuses people, because like I know a lot of people say like, I want to be authentic, but it's like, what does that really mean? Like, what are we really talking about when we're saying what your true authentic voice is?
So I'm gonna, you know, swear it's no bullshit. People don't want bullshit.
Swearing the whole time.
Yeah, I know. I have a podcast, Magnetic Mama, and I had to change it from the kids and family section into this. People kept swearing, and I was like, oh man, this is really explicit.
I love it.
I'm going to swear. Yeah. So look, no bullshit. No one has time for bullshit. In my opinion, you know, when you read something that's very vulnerable and touches your heart space, and you can tell when it's like, I made 100K in 5 days. Like, can you just stop with that? Like,
right.
It's
Shove
just
it.
bullshit. Shut up. Yeah. I bought 8 properties in 30 days. Like, no, you didn't. Like, what? Like, seriously. You know, I think people can really, because
it's true. Like, sometimes my mom buys my plane tickets back home. True story. Like, that's real. Like, you're building a business, you're not getting, like, it's a lot going out. It's not a lot coming in at times. That doesn't mean it won't change or it won't shift. But yeah, no, if my mom would like to see me, she gets to buy my plane ticket.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're going overseas, and my parents contributed to the flights because there is 5 of us.
There's 5 of you. You have 5. Yeah, like,
it's like, Australia to England. That's like, that's not fair.
Yeah.
And I'm like, awesome. Like,
I'll accept it.
I'm all about receiving.
Yeah, me too. It's a good place to be in, and I think, like, how lucky am I that I've got a mom that's like, you know what, build it. So, like, what you're really saying is, take down the mirrors and just freaking be you.
Yeah.
Just be you.
Yeah. And I think people get very confused with, like, well, who am I? Right? Like, they go on this like spiritual journey, and it's like, I got to find my purpose in life, and I got to buy all the books, and I've got to, write all the
go to a drum circle, smoke some peyote, get in touch with my inner self. Yeah, no.
And it's like they just become kind of like a spiritual wanker, really. And it's like a badge, you know, like I'm really spiritual. So therefore I'm going to buy my Lululemon and I'm going to go do my hot yoga and eat a green smoothie, but I'm actually really angry inside. And it's like, that's just not being spiritual at all.
Mm.
And I think when you really kind of step up and like have a voice and speak your truth, you know, it may be, it's anything that really kind of gets you kind of ranty, or, you know, like using your voice in a way that is positive and also can affect change in the world, and not being afraid to actually stand up and speak your truth and really stand. Like people always say to me, you have phenomenal strength. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm a super strong woman, but I'm also very like, I feel all the feels, you know, hashtag all the feelings, and I will share all the feelings.
Yeah.
Like when I'm in joy and gratitude and bliss, I'm like, hashtag that, amazing, spread the love. But when I'm in those moments of vulnerability and pain, I'm going to share that too, because this is the spectrum of being a human, like a spiritual being having a human experience. That's what I believe we're having. You know, my eldest boy supposedly has ADHD. And I'm like, you know, you go down that road, you get the diagnosis. And I'm like, he's just this beautiful boy who radiates at a totally different frequency, right? So yes, he has a lot of energy and he's, you know, but he's so creative and his imagination, and he writes and he draws. And it's like, seriously, he's so talented. And, you know, he gets put in a box, and you've got to take Ritalin, and you've got to, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's heartbreaking as a mother. Because he doesn't fit into the society that we live in. And I think this is what happens. We're born and we've got this, you know, big, beautiful, open energy. And then it's like, you need to, you know, you should do this and you should do that. And it's all about consumerism and conformity. And, you know, you go to school and then you're put in that box, and it's really hardcore. And I think what we need to do is allow ourselves to be vulnerable and real, and lose it and shout and do all the things, but then be really like, okay, I'm reflecting on that, and I'm going to not try and do that next time. And I'm going to keep evolving and growing.
Yeah.
And, you know, like the whirlwind's not going to stop.
No, life will always be happening. And
Always.
I like what you're sharing about, like, as a mom, it's got to be hard to have a child slapped with a diagnosis. And like, also I would just, okay, people might not like this, but like, I don't totally buy ADHD. I think that like, you want us, like, hold up, you want us to sit at a desk like little freaking robots and like do that. I'm an adult. I can't do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I cannot, if you were to be like, Kate, I need you to sit still for 8 hours, I would bounce off the freaking walls. And also, like, for those of us that are outliers, those of us that don't conform, those of us that like kind of take a different path, bad freaking ass, more power to you. Because, you know, like when they're like talking about like stubborn children, and they've got studies coming out now that those are the kids who are more successful. You know, so it's like, stop trying to conform, stop trying to fit into a box, break through your freaking box, be yourself. That's what, like, if we could just all let go of those shackles that we like grew up into, because you're right, like, we come into this world and we are freaking perfect. We're pooping ourselves and we're smiling. Not that I'm suggesting people go around and do that. Like, I really do. I'm a big proponent of toilets. Real big fan there. No, really, like, please don't just be pooping on the street, people. But like, really, essentially, I know, sorry, I digress. But like, essentially, like, it's like, be true to you, and it's okay if you don't fit into society's mold.
Yeah.
There's a blessing in that.
I agree. It's, you know, he will be an amazing entrepreneur. I see it already. You know?
Yeah, he will.
Yeah, like, he's so passionate about certain things, and this is the confusion with ADHD. Supposedly, it's like, if you're in it, and you're so focused. Like there are athletes like Michael Phelps, one of the best swimmers in the world, has ADHD, and his ADHD helps him be an Olympic champion, right?
See?
So it's like, it's not a curse.
There are gifts in things that you wouldn't have a gift. I mean, like, even sadness. Like, I know people probably aren't going to like that, but like, even the suffering and the sadness, there's a gift.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You know?
It's how we connect, because, you know, not everybody feels happiness and joy. Like, that's true. And so you can't connect through something you don't feel. So we connect through the pain and the suffering. This is actually how we connect as humans. And there is real beauty in that.
Yeah.
So when you see 9/11 or when you see a horrendous disaster,
Right.
the light and the help and the community and the support, like I've met, like the mums I work with, they've come to me because they had postnatal depression, because their child has you know, something that is,
Yeah.
I guess, not seen as normal. And they come and they create a business to help and heal other women. So I've helped women create charities around miscarriage, birth trauma. I mean, really, it's so beautiful. It's like their own experience of going through something where they were in a dark space and they found their light through that journey, because of course we need the darkness to see the light, right? And it's so beautiful, you know. So I went through a divorce like 5 or 6 years ago now, and I was so heartbroken. I was a single mama when I was 35. This is my older boy who's 9 now. And I'm so grateful. Like every day I'm like, I'm remarried, I'm happier than I've ever been. I have 2 more beautiful children. And I'm so grateful for that time, because I'd never really experienced that really dark place before. And I didn't know what it felt like. And it's horrible. And it's, you know, it isn't like, I wouldn't recommend that people go there willingly, but it's where you find your light and your truth.
Yeah, it's not that we need to like induce ourselves into sadness. That's definitely not the recommendation. But the point is that like when you find yourself in that, like the truth is you're not going to be happy all the time. Can we give you tools that will help you shift out of it faster? Yeah, I can definitely teach people that. And like some of the shifts are even just like recognizing that there is a freaking gift in this, that there's a lesson, that there's a breakthrough, that you get to go through this experience and you get to go to the other side. Like when you got married, I doubt very much that you were like, oh, I can't wait to get divorced. You know, like I am, right. Like you're committing, right. You're committing, you envision a life together, and yet you would not have the second marriage. You would not have 2 additional beautiful children if you hadn't gone through that. And so we get to like, it really comes down to like learning and making meaning. So like you get to learn through all the experiences. We don't need to control everything. We have this real tendency to try to do that. But it's like these experiences, allow them to unfold. There is beauty in it.
Yeah, it absolutely. And, you know, if you read Marianne Williamson, or if you read an author who writes with such rawness and truth, it connects so deeply into your soul.
Yeah.
And that is just, to me, it's so beautiful. You know, my second marriage, like we check in every day, you know, like, you know, yesterday my husband's having some counseling. I'm like, I'm all about the counseling, you know, and it's just to kind of help him manage some, you know, work stress that's been going on. And of course they talk about our marriage. That's what counselors do. They're like, let me pry into your life. And our marriage is great. We're about to celebrate. We got married literally a year ago. We're about to go off and celebrate that this weekend. It's really exciting. And you know, it's like all about the love languages and knowing how to actually tell someone that you love them, because everyone's different. And I think we're really good at checking in, even through the sleepless nights and the angry words at 4 a.m. You know, you get up.
It's your turn. Yeah. This is your baby. Whose idea was this?
It wasn't mine, let me tell you. I know. And it's really true, you know, and I did a really great parenting course actually when I was pregnant with my daughter, called The Circle of Security. And it's all about understanding where your kids are on this circle of emotion, and knowing that when they feel really safe and secure, obviously they're going to be a lot happier in the world. And now obviously it gets ruptured a lot, right? Like tantrums happen, things happen. Like right now, my 3.5-year-old has like really bad separation anxiety. When one of us leaves the house, she just can't cope with it. She just thinks we're not coming back. And it's like, and I understand that from the development of a child, but it's like, you know, you can repair that, right? So it ruptures, you repair it. And as long as you repair it, it's all good. You know, like in a relationship, don't let the rupture go unfixed. You know, like just repair. And because what happened to me in my marriage is we kind of went like this over 10 years and we couldn't get back again. And this is what happens, right? In relationships, you go, you change. And so you really want to try and stay level. And I think that's the same with our children as well. You know, we start off when we're so connected, and then over time, you know, we get disconnected. And it's like when in the teenage years, whoa, that's probably a whole other conversation. I'm not there yet.
Yeah,
Not
no,
there yet.
don't go there yet. But if we want to do, so I like what you're saying here. So if this kind of disconnect that happens creates like we can't repair, how
Yeah.
do we, like, what are some tips or some things that you would do with your clients to help like keep that connection, even like a connection to raising a child? So like they're 4 or they're 8, and like even as a teenager, like I know you're not there, but like how do we, like I can still remember my mom being like, what were the top 3 things that happened to you today? Desperately trying to connect from the front seat of the minivan. I would be really frustrated with her, but I would respond. So like I just like a teenager, like, how dare you ask me a question, mother?
Isn't that so funny? So I'll say to my oldest, what was the most stupid thing someone did today? That's how we talk.
That's so good. Yes. Anything where you're like, cool.
Oh, so-and-so, fell over, whatever. And it's like, trying to like understand how to talk in the language
that they use.
Yeah, that's one thing. But I always go back to the same thing, and it's quality time. We are so time poor. We are so busy. We are constantly bombarded by things to do and information and be this way and be that way. And I think all we really need is to spend quality time with the people that we love. And I mean, unplugged, offline, like, let's play Jenga, like, let's hang out, let's play a game, let's get on the floor, let's like, we dance, we love the Greatest Showman, the best movie in the world.
So right? Good. I just like to burst into the song with that one. Also, my voice is not great, so it's really sucks.
But you know what? We pretty much dance every night. Like, we love that movie. My kids know all the words to the songs, and we have a dance off in our house, and it's amazing. And we all connect, and we stomp out any kind of angst. It's really grounding and fun. And that's how we love it. We love having a good old dance, and it's beautiful and funny, and it works for us in our family. And I think that like, I want my kids to remember that they would dance like a crazy person in the living room when they were little with their mom and dad. I want that.
Yeah, I love that you just shared that. I literally just flashed back to my own childhood. We had this old, like, obviously I didn't grow up in the 1950s. I don't know if anyone can tell, but I clearly did not. But we had this like tiny little record player with like all of our parents' like old records, and we used to just play that music and sing it. Like I still remember like, it's a teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini. Like, like we, it was so funny. So I love what you're sharing, because what you're really saying is unplug, disconnect to connect.
Yes.
Like spend that time together. And like, it's true, because you're never going to have these moments again. Like your kids are only going to be a certain age for so long. Like treasure treasure. It doesn't have to be this, like, there's 500 things, I've got to get everything perfectly done. It's when your kid approaches you, like, maybe put down the peanut butter and jelly sandwich and like go have some freaking fun with them.
Yeah, it's so true. And it's, you only have to be present. Sorry. You only have to be present.
I also have that. I don't know why. There's something coming through.
Of my throat chakra.
Yeah, right? Like, why but it's funny because mine is going too. So I'm like, why is she coughing and I'm coughing over here? Like,
I just keep drinking my coffee because it's morning time here. So I'm in Australia.
Okay. Well, it's 4 p.m. here, and I'm gonna go. I have a longer day.
I think it's really important to know that you can't be present all the time, and that's a completely ridiculous goal. So 30%. I wrote about this. I wrote a book called Mother On, which has done really, really well. I wrote this a few years about connected motherhood, and 30% is all you need, right? That's all you need to give your loved ones, right? And it's, you can do that. You could be like I'm a real, like, dinner time, no phones. We're at the table as a family. Like, this is how I grew up, right? And it did used to drive me mad, but I really treasure that now. We've got this beautiful dining room table, and we sit there and we talk about our day or whatever, whatever silly thing happened. And that to me is really special. We all have dinner together, and we're not on our phones, and we have very strict rules around technology in our house. And I think that's really special. you know, again, I want my kids to remember dinner times. I want them to remember dancing in the living room, or, you know, to remember the lovely experiences that they had. It's not all about the things, it's about the experiences. Like, you know, we're taking the kids to Lapland to meet Santa. That's amazing. Like, you know, it's like summertime here is like 30 plus degrees. We're going like minus 30. Like, that's wild. They will remember that.
Yeah.
You know, big experiences, I think, really shape a child more than buying them stuff that they play with for 2 minutes. You know, like, they just want time with you. They want your time. They want your love. They want your attention. That's it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's fantastic. Like, when you go back and you think about what are the memories that you have from childhood, is it the it toy that you remember, or is it the experiences that you really had with your family? And so I love what you're really sharing about, like, if we, like, we live in a crazy world, but we have this incredible power of getting to be really present and connected to people. And we should really take advantage of that. And we're not talking about 24/7. Like,
No,
it's okay to play. Yeah, it's okay to play on your phone, but like, I love this like notion of like family dinner and going back to that. And like, just like, what a difference that would make.
Family walk.
Yeah.
You know, like, we're very blessed where we live, and we can be in the bush in 10 minutes, and, you know, we'll go for a family walk. And like, you don't take your phone out in, you know,
Not on a walk.
you know, the Wi-Fi connection in the forest is much better, you know.
Also,
like,
you might fall. So there's that. Like, can't tell you how many times I've like picked up my phone and been walking and like walked into trees or like tripped over. So I literally have walked into trees, and I'm like,
no, it's dangerous. Like, people walk in front of buses, you know, because they're like on their phone. Like,
and you're not paying attention. It's like actually seriously dangerous.
and
Also,
then people wonder why you have ADHD, and it's like, are you serious? Like, you can't even get off your phone.
overstimulated.
What's happening around you? Like,
I know, it's so true. Well, I could seriously keep talking to you forever. I really enjoyed this. What y'all don't know is that we already spent like 15 minutes together beforehand. Lucky me. So if they are interested in learning more about you, where should they go to find out more information?
Okay, beautiful. So I have a website, so www.leoniepercy.com, and I'm sure there'll be links. And yeah, my book, Mother Arm, is available globally on Amazon. I have a mindfulness program on Udemy, and I have heaps of free content. I do lots of summits and chats and podcasts, and so go check it out. And yeah, you can find me on social, where I'm sharing all the joys and all the moments.
All of it. I love this.
All the things. So yeah, come connect. I'd love to share my journey with you.
Oh, I think that's awesome. I will definitely put below, I'll put in the email a link to your website for sure. And I'll figure out a way to do that on Facebook too, because we're going to share that there too. All right, you guys, this has been awesome. Remember, Wellness Wednesdays, 3 p.m. We did this one special since we are in very different time zones. And it would have been, I believe, 3 a.m. your time. So
I would have been awake feeding, but
we're not doing that. We're not doing that on a live. But yeah, let's not do that. Anyway, jokingly. So thanks again, you guys. I know this is kind of a unique one. If you have any questions, or you want to give some feedback, just respond to the email or comment on Facebook. Either of us are happy to respond, and I will see you guys live next week. All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.